Hello, Loy Machedo, speaking to you from loymachedo.com. Who's Loy Machedo? And Think Personal Branding. I got this really good question from a viewer in the Middle East, Dubai. He asked me, Loy, what's your opinion about job security in Dubai, UAE, or in general in the Middle East? Now, the most important thing you need to remember is there is no job security anywhere in the world. You can have a job today, tomorrow you might be laid off. In fact, given today's competitive environment, whereby owners are constantly looking for cheaper alternatives, outsourcing jobs, employing people who are ready to work for half the salary. There are so many eager beavers out there who are saying, "Sir, I'll prove myself to you. You can pay me only after I prove myself," or "I'm prepared to work for, even half the salary. Just give me a chance." As long as you have eager beavers like this, people who are desperate, especially people who are ready to undercut the market in terms of their salary income, people are ready to backstab, people are ready to sell themselves for cheap, there is no job security. Because as you go through the door and ask for 10,000, the next guy will ask for 8,000, the next guy will ask for 6,000. And then if the employer tells him, there is someone who is ready to work for 10,000, if you can give me a best price, they'll say 9,000. So in this scenario, there is no job security anywhere. However, in the Middle East in particular, there is a trend which is very disturbing, and it's really bad. And I'll tell you what that is. If you, hey, guy with two monkeys. And the trend is, and the trend in Dubai, UAE, or anywhere in the Middle East is, let's say, for example, I'm going to work every single day. I go to work, and one fine day, I'm given the pink slip. I'm told by the management, your services are no longer required. Now, if I was a citizen in my home country like India, or if I was a Canadian staying in Canada, or American citizen staying in US, if my company had laid me off, I would go back home, I would sit down, sit on a chair, maybe take a beer, put my legs on top of the table or in the balcony, sit down and think what to do next. Or I'd spend some time with my family and just contemplate what's next for me. But the problem in the Middle East is, all countries in the Middle East, Saudi, Qatar, Bahrain, Oman, Dubai, the minute you lose your job, your clock is ticking. What do I mean by your clock is ticking is, your ability to stay in the country is ruled by your visa. It's your residence visa, your working visa, your valid visa, which allows you a residency permit, which allows you to stay in the country. So when your visa is cancelled, you have a ticking time bomb which says you have 30 days to find a new job, or you can bugger off. And that puts a lot of pressure on a person. I mean, just think about it. You have a job, you lose your job, and now you're desperate to find a job. And when you're desperate to find a job, the employer on the other side of the table, knows you're desperate, knows that you need a job, knows that, okay, this is do or die. So he's not going to, bend backwards for you. He's not going to cave into your demands. He's going to tell you, if you want a job, well, this is the best price I can pay you, because you don't have any room to negotiate, because you have a ticking time bomb, and the ticking time bomb is your visa is going to expire. And that is where you have 30 days to make it, or you'll have to leave. Another problem with the job security situation in the Middle East is, if you lose your job, you have to leave the country, your spouse, your wife has to leave the country, your children have to leave the country. So now everyone has to leave the country, and you have to go to wherever you came from, and start from scratch, from zero. And this is not only humiliating, it's embarrassing. People make fun of you. People ask, oh, what the hell, you went there, you thought you're doing very well. What the hell you come back for? And it's pretty humiliating. Now, the only solution to this is you can take your own visa, but that is added expense. You can go around asking other people for favors. That is, you owe them. Or you have to cave into the demands. I know so many people who, after they lose their job, they keep, they have to, first thing they have to go and beg with the company, please don't cancel my visa, give me time, let me find another job, which is what most of the people have done. The second thing what they do is desperately go hunting for a job, which is so much of stress and pressure. And it's really embarrassing, man. Sitting across the table, sir, okay, you might not say sir, you might say, give me a chance to prove myself. You have to sell yourself, my strengths, my weakness, all that bullshit you have to go through. And mostly the guy sitting across the table may be a jackass, but what can you do? So eventually you keep hunting for a job and you hope that you find a job. And then that's the end of it. Some people, in order to get a job, they keep getting out of the country. They go for a visa change to Iran or Oman, and they come back, and then they take a visit visa and they try again. And they keep doing this until they get a job. And this is expense, and this is unnecessary pressure. So in a nutshell, to encapsulate, I would just say that there is no job security anywhere in the world. Anywhere you go, anywhere in the Middle East, there is no job security. You'll always be on the lookout, for a new job if you lose your job. You'll always, face the risk of losing your job. You'll always face competition. You'll always have politics. You'll always have this headache that if I lose my job, what do I do next? And I think given that this is the pressure-packed situation where you do not know if you'll have a job or not have a job, you have to take people's crap. You have to bend over backwards, and you don't have a choice other than to submit yourself to the management. You can't throw the resignation on his face and say, bugger off, I don't want your job. So the job security, the job security situation is pretty bad in the Middle East. I'm not trying to paint gloom and doom, but I can tell you this much is, in the Middle East, your balls are in the hands of the employer. Your passport is in the hands of the employer. And yeah, some people say, oh, Loy, fuck you, my passport is not with the hands of the employer. Yeah, tell your employer to fuck off. Tell him that you don't care. Tell him you don't want to come to work. See what happens next. Then you'll come to know who's, your balls are in whose hands. I stayed in Dubai for 40 years. I know what is the situation there. Unless you're really rich, well-connected, you have contacts, connections, and you have the credentials to back up your ass and save yourself, okay, fine. Otherwise, it's going to be an expensive process to secure yourself with a job. So these are my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I always read them. Like the video, thumbs up. Don't like it, thumbs down. It's me signing off for now. Take care.